Hey, before we get started in the video, I just wanted to be able to give a big shout out to my two main inspirations for doing this type of video, Haydunn and Shofu. I remember watching them all the way back in Gen 4 Wi-Fi battle days, and it was something I always wanted to be able to do, something I thought was really cool, but didn't have the means or the understanding of Pokemon at the time to be able to do such a thing. But now I feel I have a decent enough team and a good enough setup that I can give this the old college try. So I hope you all enjoy this video, and I hope I can do my boys proud. With that, let's jump in. Hey guys, one final quick little thing I just thought of before I go ahead and continue on with the video. I realized that when I went ahead and created this team, I wasn't thinking about any kind of Smogon rules or any kind of OU underused or anything like that. I just grabbed a bunch of Pokemon that were exclusive to this game and that I thought were pretty cool and just kind of built a team around. So if I made any snafus using Pokemon that don't work with OU or Ubers or anything like that and don't really, I'm not super into the metagame just yet. But if I made any oopsies, please forgive me, and I hope you guys still enjoy the video all the same. Merry Christmas, everybody, and welcome to my first ever Pokemon Wi-Fi battle. I actually had a couple of battles before this, one with my best friend Yamato, and one with another random person online, which I was doing really well on, but didn't hit record for some reason. Maybe I was nervous, I don't know. But I decided to go ahead and record this next battle, and I figure for my second true real battle, I thought it looked pretty good. So first, let's go ahead and go over the team preview. Starting with probably one of my favorite Pokemon in this whole generation is Palmont. I so lovingly stole this set from Haydunn himself. Again, he's one of my big inspirations. So this is a punching Palmont set build with some punching moves and the punching glove. The only thing is I don't have an ability patch yet, so I don't have the hidden ability, so he's chilling with his Volt Absorb ability. Then I have my buddy Minecraft Steve here, and I gave him the Covert Cloak because he's already a pretty defensive boy, and with his ability to tank hits from ghost types, which have usually pretty high special attacks, and also, can drop the special defense quite a bit, I thought it was a good idea to have that to kind of protect from that, and I really just wanted to make him a kind of like a tank, but also like a high-powered attacker. So he's also got stuff like body press on and some powerful rock type moves. Next up is my boy from Kingdom Hearts, the Soldier Heartless. Pretty standard build there from what I've been able to see online. Doing stuff like being able to Will-O-Wisp to lower other people's attack while being able to go ahead and hit with a Bitter Blades. Also, using the Shadow Claw because I don't have Shadow Sneak yet, and hitting with the Life Orb to get more damage and be able to gain some of that back with the Bitter Blade. Next up, we have Gold Member. He loves gold. Pretty tanky build, being able to Thunder Wave and send out some stuff. Like hexes and that kind of stuff, and being able to tank hits and use leftovers. Next up is Bird Person. I noticed I was running a little low on some special attackers, so I went ahead and I gave him the Choice Scarf to be able to... He already had pretty high speed from what I noticed in my main playthrough, but I went ahead and I gave the Choice Scarf to ensure that he would be able to outspeed stuff. He's running Energy Ball for water and ground types, Psychic, for the psychic power stuff. Dazzling Gleam, which came in pretty handy in the previous Wi-Fi battle that I did not record, and something else I can't think of off the top of my head. And then probably my favorite regional variant ever, Clog Toilet. Yes, I know I have toilet spelled wrong. I did that because I thought I was spelling toilet, and I didn't know if Pokemon would allow me to have toilet on there. But he's running some fun stuff like Yawn to try to make those boys sleepy, and then hitting with Poison Jab and Earthquake, and has the clear amulet just to keep him from losing too much defense. So this is my team, and we're going to go ahead and get into the battle. So one of the first things I notice is that he doesn't really have a lot of answers for ghost types outside of the Rising Sun, Rising Moon guy. So I went ahead and I sent out Gold Member first, and we went ahead and just selected some other guys randomly, and we started the battle. Alright, so we jump on in, and one of the things I didn't notice right away, but I did notice after this point, is that they went ahead and they only brought in 5 of their Pokemon, and the one they missed was Clodsire for some reason. I'm not sure if they thought that the matchup was going to be a little weird, but hey, it is what it is. So they went ahead and they put in Tinkatuff first, and we both ended up going for Thunder Wave, but for some reason theirs ended up missing and mine ended up hitting. So that was pretty interesting for me. I go for the Hex next, and I go ahead and I do quite a bit of damage, maybe about a third of it or so, but then they go ahead and they hit me with the Thunder Wave themselves. They get paralyzed, and so I'm able to set up a nasty plot, which is unfortunate for them. They're actually going to suffer quite a lot of paralysis. They get paralyzed twice in a row, but then I also get the paralysis again, so you know it all ends up working out. But then they get a third paralysis in a row, and I'm really feeling bad for them at this point. But the Hex goes ahead and knocks them out, and so up 1 against their 5 so far. So that's pretty good. I'm pretty excited about that. You know, a good showing so far. But then they go ahead and they send out the Rising Moon thing, and it uses its boost energy to activate photosynthesis to raise its attack power. So I go ahead and I decide to Thunder Wave it again, but they go ahead and use the Jaw Lock, but I managed to live with 10 HP. Like I said, I'm a very defensive boy, and I go ahead and I set up the Thunder Wave again. I also have the leftovers on here to be able to assist with living, but, you know, can't do too much there. But because I don't think this thing can do too much to me, I go ahead and send out my buddy Minecraft Steve, and this is where they go ahead and they get paralyzed again. So they're really not doing too well. They get double paralyzed again, and I managed to knock out a good chunk with Body Press there. So they're really unlucky in this battle. So I wish I had a slightly better battle to show off, but you know, this is only my second one, so I figured it is what it is. So they go ahead and send out the Iron Valiant here, and Body Press doesn't do a whole lot because it's part Fairy type, so they go ahead and they use Confuse Ray to try to get me to see some Twitter, but you know, Elon Musk is kind of making Minecraft Steve a little angry, so he goes ahead and he hits himself in rage. So I decide to switch out and go to Clodsire, because I suspected it's going to be some kind of fairy move, but it ends up being an Aura Sphere. But I still think that was a smart play, because if it had been a fairy move, I would have eaten it up pretty nicely because I'm Poison type. So they go ahead and they use Confuse Ray again, and I just go ahead and hit them up with a Poison Jab, you know, the little 1-2, and I do end up getting the poison on them. And so, on this next hit, I decide they're probably going to go for another fighting type move. So I went ahead and I brought in my Heartless, but they make actually a nice prediction, and they go for the Hex to get some super effective double damage on me. But the poison does manage to take them out, so I was very happy about that. So the next thing they do is they go ahead and they send out this Indeedee, which sends up the Psychic Surge, and the battlefield gets weird, Rick. And that also allows them to use their Psychic C to boost their one of their things. I go ahead and for some reason I decide to use this Will-O-Wisp. I'm not entirely sure why I decided to do it. Maybe just get a little bit of damage on them. They go ahead and they use the Shadow Ball, but as you can see, it leaves me with 1 HP, which isn't too bad. So I decide to go for the Bitter Blade. It brings them down pretty far, and I heal up a lot of that damage, so that was pretty nice for me. They go ahead and set up a Reflect here, but it's not really going to matter too much, I don't think. So they lose to the burn, and yeah, my Bitter Blading Heartless is pretty good. They bring out the Rising Moon again, and I go ahead and I just close combat this time. I know it's slow enough, and I'm fast enough, and I have a good attack stat that it's not going to worry about the Reflect, so I go and I'm Life Orbed. So I go ahead and I do that. Then they bring out their last Pokemon, and this guy was a little bit of a toughie. I wasn't entirely sure what I was going to do here. The Bitter Blade doesn't do a whole lot of damage. And then they end up bringing out the, they use the Parabolic Charge, sorry, to heal up themselves a bit and knock out my Heartless. And here's where I decide to make the big brain play, where I figure I'm going to brick in the Garganackle, my good buddy Steve, and I figure he's going to go for the parabolic charge again to try to heal up a little bit, and I decide to immediately switch back into Clod Toilet. But what he ends up doing is he sets up the electric terrain after terastallizing. At this point, though, I'm thinking, oh, I've totally got this. You know, he's going to go for the parabolic charge, and I'm going to eat it up with Clod Toilet. You know, just too clogged to be able to do anything, but he actually goes for the electric terrain. So I try to go ahead and set up the yawn to make this boy sleepy, not realizing that the electric terrain is going to protect him from that. But he goes for a Thunder Wave, which I don't know if he didn't realize that I was a ground type, or if he just didn't have anything else he could do. So as you're going to see, basically 2 Earthquakes are going to finish this thing off, and that's going to give me the battle, and Clod Toilet is going to come through. So there he goes, he breaks his terastallization, he goes out, and there is the battle. I do feel bad that I couldn't show off something with a full team, but again, I was just very proud of this battle. It was a really good showing. I wish I had gone ahead and I had saved up that second battle, or I'm sorry, that first battle, which was a true 6-on-6. But I just thought that, you know, this was a pretty nice showing. My team pretty much did what I wanted it to do, and I don't know, you know, how much Wi-Fi battle experience that person had, but I didn't have much either, so I just played with some of my favorites, and it ended up working out for me. So thank you everybody so much for watching. Be sure to hit that sub and that bell and all that good stuff, and I'll try to do some more Wi-Fi battles pretty soon. Thanks so much everybody, and do something nice for yourselves today. Bye-bye.